Hello and welcome. Today, we are diving into the fascinating and mysterious life of one of the most famous artists in history, Vincent van Gogh. You may have heard about his stunning paintings, but did you know he once cut off his own ear? Why did he do it? What was happening in his life that led to this shocking event? As we uncover his untold story, you will also learn new English words and phrases to improve your language skills. So, pay close attention to the words I highlight. They will help you expand your vocabulary while enjoying this gripping tale. This is a story of genius, struggle, and passion. It's a journey through the mind of a man whose paintings changed the world, but whose personal life was full of challenges. Get ready for a mix of mystery, emotion, and inspiration. Let's begin. In a small town in the Netherlands, on March 30th, 1853, a boy named Vincent van Gogh was born. He was a quiet child, often lost in his thoughts, fascinated by nature and the beauty around him. Little did the world know that this boy would grow up to become one of the most influential artists in history. Vincent was the eldest of 6 children in a religious and hardworking family. His father, Theodorus, was a minister, and his mother, Anna, loved painting flowers and landscapes. Perhaps it was from her that Vincent inherited his love for colors and art. But his journey was far from easy. From an early age, Vincent struggled with his emotions. He was sensitive and deeply passionate, often feeling things more intensely than others. This made it difficult for him to fit in. He found comfort in books, nature, and drawing. However, his path to becoming an artist was not straightforward. As a young man, Vincent tried different careers. He worked as an art dealer in London and Paris, but the business side of art didn't interest him. He also tried becoming a preacher like his father, hoping to help poor miners in Belgium. But his unconventional methods and deep empathy for the poor made church authorities uneasy. He was dismissed, leaving him heartbroken. During these difficult years, one person remained his closest supporter, his younger brother, Theo. Theo worked as an art dealer in Paris and constantly encouraged Vincent. Their letters to each other, which still exist today, reveal a bond of love, trust, and understanding. At the age of 27, Vincent finally realized that painting was his true calling. He decided to dedicate his life to art. But the world of art was not welcoming to him. His unique style, bold colors, thick brushstrokes, and emotional depth was unlike anything seen before. Many people found his paintings strange and unappealing. Despite this rejection, Vincent continued to paint. He moved to different places, searching for inspiration. In 1888, he settled in the sunny town of Arles in the south of France. He hoped to create an artist community there, where painters could work together and support one another. It was in Arles that his life took a dramatic turn. He invited another artist, Paul Gauguin, to join him. At first, their friendship was filled with artistic passion and excitement. They painted together, shared ideas, and discussed the future of art. But soon, their differences became clear. Vincent was intense, emotional, and unpredictable. Gauguin was more practical and disciplined. Their arguments grew worse, and tension filled the small house where they lived. Then, one fateful night in December 1888, everything spiraled out of control. What happened that night remains a mystery. Some say Vincent and Gauguin had a terrible fight. Others believe Vincent was struggling with deep mental anguish. Whatever the reason, the result was shocking. Vincent took a razor and cut off a part of his own ear. Why would a man do such a thing? What was going on in his mind? And what happened to him after that night? As we continue this story, we will uncover the tragic yet inspiring tale of Vincent van Gogh, the artist who suffered but left behind a legacy that changed the world forever. Stay with us as we explore his journey. After the horrifying incident in December 1888, Vincent van Gogh was found unconscious in his small home in Arles. Blood covered the floor, and a portion of his left ear was missing. He had wrapped it in a cloth and, according to some reports, handed it to a woman at a local brothel before collapsing. The town was in shock. What could drive a man to harm himself in such a brutal way? Vincent was taken to a hospital, where he drifted between states of confusion and distress. His friend Paul Gauguin, shaken by the event, left Arles immediately, never to see Vincent again. The dream of an artist community was shattered, and Vincent was left alone, haunted by his inner demons. In the hospital, he wrote letters to his brother, Theo, apologizing for his actions. Theo, as always, remained supportive. He arranged for Vincent to receive medical care and encouraged him to keep painting, but the townspeople of Arles grew wary of him. They saw him as dangerous and unstable. Soon, a petition was signed by local residents, demanding that Vincent be removed from the town. He had become an outcast, a new beginning in Saint Remy. With nowhere else to go, Vincent voluntarily admitted himself to the Saint Paul de Massol Asylum in Saint Remy de Provence in May 1889. This marked a crucial period in his life. He was battling severe mental illness, experiencing hallucinations, mood swings, and deep despair. Yet, even within the walls of the asylum, he found solace in painting. Despite his suffering, he painted some of his most famous works here, including The Starry Night. He would gaze out of his small window, watching the swirling sky, the glowing moon, and the wind moving through the cypress trees. His brush captured his emotions, pain, hope, and longing for peace. Each stroke on the canvas was filled with raw intensity. His routine at the asylum was strict. He painted during the day, often in the gardens or nearby fields, and read books or wrote letters to Theo in the evenings. He was allowed to leave the asylum's grounds under supervision, and during these rare moments, he painted the beauty of the countryside with a passion that only he could express. Meanwhile, Theo was working tirelessly to introduce Vincent's paintings to the world. He believed in his brother's talent, even when no one else did. Slowly, art critics and collectors began to take notice. Vincent's paintings, once seen as strange and unappealing, were now being recognized for their unique style and emotional depth. In 1890, just a year before his death, Vincent's work was displayed at an art exhibition in Brussels. One of his paintings, The Red Vineyard, was sold, the only painting he would ever sell in his lifetime. This small victory gave him hope, but his battle with mental illness continued to worsen. As Vincent's work slowly gained recognition, his mental health continued to deteriorate. His emotions swung wildly between hope and despair. Though Theo reassured him that better days were coming, Vincent felt an unbearable weight on his soul. He worried about being a burden to his brother, about never truly being accepted as an artist, and about the relentless battle within his mind. On July 27, 1890, something inside Vincent broke. The wheat fields of Auvers-sur-Oise, which had once inspired some of his most breathtaking paintings, now became the stage for his final act. Armed with a revolver, Vincent walked into the golden fields and, in a desperate attempt to escape his inner torment, shot himself in the chest. The bullet did not kill him instantly. Bleeding and in pain, Vincent managed to drag himself back to his inn. He collapsed in his room, exhausted and struggling for breath. When the innkeeper found him, they rushed to get help, but there was little that could be done. News traveled quickly, and Theo arrived as soon as he could. He sat by Vincent's side, holding his brother's hand as he whispered his final words. The sadness will last forever. For 2 days, Vincent lay in agony, surrounded by a silence that spoke louder than any words. On July 29, 1890, at the age of 37, Vincent van Gogh took his last breath. The artist who had given the world so much beauty had lost his own battle with life. At the time of his death, Vincent van Gogh was barely known. He had sold just one painting and lived a life of poverty, misunderstood by society. His greatest supporter, Theo, was devastated by his brother's death. Unable to cope with the loss, his health quickly deteriorated, and he passed away just 6 months later. The two brothers, whose bond had been unbreakable, were buried side by side in Auvers-sur-Oise. Years after Vincent's death, his paintings began to gain widespread recognition. art collectors and critics finally saw the genius in his work. The bold colors, the expressive brushstrokes, the raw emotion embedded in every piece. His art was no longer seen as strange, but as revolutionary. Today, Vincent van Gogh is celebrated as one of the greatest artists in history. His paintings, such as The Starry Night, Sunflowers, and Irises, are displayed in the most prestigious museums around the world, inspiring millions of people. Vincent van Gogh's story teaches us about passion, perseverance, and the struggle of the human mind. Though he faced rejection, loneliness, and mental illness, he never stopped creating. His legacy is a reminder that true art comes from the depths of the soul, and sometimes, the greatest visionaries are only understood long after they are gone. Thank you for joining this journey through Vincent van Gogh's life. We hope this story helped you learn some new English words while also gaining insight into the life of a legendary artist. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible narratives. Check out our other videos on famous artists, historical figures, and compelling true stories. You might also enjoy our documentary on Leonardo da Vinci or Frida Kahlo. Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring the world of art and history.